Underneath the hulls of these ships, a museum of stories comes alive. The Boneyard is often described as an accidental marine museum, but you wouldn't know it on the surface. Perhaps the most well-known ship in the Boneyard is the USS PC-1264. A submarine chaser, PC-1264 was one of only 2 U.S. Navy vessels to be manned by a predominantly African-American crew during World War II. Located along the Arthur Kill, the Staten Island Ship Graveyard, or WWII's Marine Scrapyard, serves as the final resting place for these forgotten ships. Opened in the early 1930s, at its peak, the Boneyard was home to more than 400 ships, ferries, and barges. Today, less than 100 vessels remain, most decayed beyond repair, serving as hollowed shells of their old self. All that remains is rusted steel, as the water slowly eats away the stories these ships could tell. Surrounded by thick brush and muddy marshland, the Boneyard is inaccessible without perseverance. During its operation, ferocious dogs roamed among the wrecks, defending WWII's property against looters and trespassers. While those days are long gone, the isolation and eerie sight of decay makes the Boneyard a place to seldom travel alone. Brave the dense swampland and thorn-filled brush, a world is opened. 80 years of history, history that's disappearing day by day. Underneath the hulls of these ships, a museum of stories comes alive. The Boneyard is often described as an accidental marine museum, but you wouldn't know it on the surface. Perhaps the most well-known ship in the Boneyard is the USS PC-1264. A submarine chaser, PC-1264 was one of only 2 U.S. Navy vessels to be manned by a predominantly African-American crew during World War II. Built in 1943, she has an active service record during World War II as an escort ship, defending merchant vessels across U.S. shores against German U-boats. Submarine chasers were small, agile ships, often serving as patrol boats defending U.S. shores. Armed with 2 depth charge racks and 5 20mm guns, PC-1264 served at the height of World War II. Incredibly, archived footage of the USS PC-1264's commissioning survives today, nearly 80 years later. Her crew of 65 men can be seen clearly as this historic vessel prepares for war. These are her remains today. Her bow completely submerged, her guns removed, and her white lettering long worn away. All that remains is her iconic circular wheelhouse, which serves as her only unique identifier. WWII's Marine Scrapyard is home to multiple World War II era ships, including the gasoline tanker WWII-64. Commissioned in 1944, WWII-64 was intended to serve during the Pacific Theater, but arrived after the war had ended. Despite missing the war, she would serve as a refueling vessel during Operation Magic Carpet, the post-World War II massive undertaking of transporting 8 million Allied troops back to the United States. 2 years later, in 1948, stationed at Bikini Atoll, WWII-64 participated in Operation Sandstone, the United States' 3rd nuclear weapons test. WWII-64 was then decontaminated, renamed, and sold to the Renauer transportation companies to live the remainder of her life under the name M.T. Francis Renauer. She has been abandoned in the Boneyard since 1976. Built in 1943, the USS ATR-89 is a large rescue tug, originally having been manned by 47 crew. On April 5, 1945, U-boat U-879 torpedoed the U.S. tanker Atlantic States off the coast of Cape Cod. ATR-89 served as a transport, towing the damaged tanker back to Boston for repair. U-879 was later sunk by American destroyers less than 30 days after her initial attack. USS ATR-89 is one of the most intact wrecks in the Boneyard, but her almost entirely wood hull will not aid in her preservation. The Boneyard is beautiful, calm, still, and quiet. It's a peaceful chaos. While these ships are lying together, each are unique, all with stories waiting to be told. For the curious mind, this site of abandoned wrecks is a fascinating exploration of a history that's literally washing away. The life of these ships are measured in years, not centuries, and they'll soon disappear, leaving behind nothing but fading memories. What do you do when a site so raw in beauty is breathing its last breath? When you know it's fading away with each passing tide? To appreciate the Boneyard is to live in the present. It's the subtle expectation that your eyes are witnessing a disappearing act. Future generations will remember these ships as they were, not as they are, learning from stories and pictures, devoid of feeling and emotion. And if all we can do is appreciate the present and the beauty this world has to offer, I think that's enough.